and a jolly good morning to you from a rather breezy autumnal and now I can say November morning here just to the north of London by the Lea navigation. Now, first of all, as I've said on previous videos, if you want to watch the full series of these videos, this is number 7, and if you want to watch all the way from the beginning in Lea Grave, Luton, then stop watching now, click on subscribe and go and look at my channel and find the other videos 1 to 6, which will be already published, and possibly 8 and 9 will also be published depending on when you're watching this. But this is episode 7 or number 7 in a series of a full walk of the River Lea from Lea Grave near Luton all the way through to the River Thames, and I'm currently stood at the place, or close to the place. Part 6 ended about a week ago, halfway between Waltham Cross and Waltham Forest, and just looking up here on the sign here, I've got a few signs here. One saying Pickett's Lock 4¼ miles, Enfield Lock 1¼ I'm going to Tottenham Locks today, which is approximately 7½ miles from here, so it's probably one of the longer stretches that I've done on this walk. And what else have we got here other than Waltham Cross Station, Cheshunt, the YHA, Broxbourne, Waltham Abbey and the Royal Gunpowder Mills. So that all sounds quite interesting. However, not got time for that today, need to crack on. It's the 1st of November, we've got a named storm heading in tonight, Kieran, so I'm obviously talking about this before it's happened. You'll be watching this after it's happened, so you might have memories of that, and we're not quite sure how crazy that storm is going to be, but I certainly shan't be out walking along here tomorrow, and in fact I think in reality I won't be able to get back to Tottenham Locks for a couple of weeks to start number 8. So anyway, this is number 7, and I can already hear the loud motorcar noises of the M25. So for the first time on this series of videos, we'll be actually inside the M25. Most people then consider it to be London, although that's not strictly true. We'll still be in Hertfordshire for a little while at least, as we are right at the moment. The closer we get to London, the more apartments are being built up close to the river or navigation. So it's quite desirable really to live next to water. A lot of these lands next to the Lea navigation and all the others were very industrial at one time, but a lot of that's of course gone now. This is Hazelmere, just escaped me there for a minute. Yes, Hazelmere Marina, which I suspect was used for something a bit more industrial back in the day, but it's certainly a nice focal point here to these apartments that are built up around it. I'm feeling the Hazelmere Marina was probably another coal docking point at one time to service what appears to be a gas installation just close by next door. Probably town gas at one time, which used coal to produce the gas. Obviously things are a lot cleaner these days, and the facility is still being used for something to do with gas by the look of it anyway. Anyway, just see that M25 ahead over there. Just running to the left of me, running parallel to the Lea navigation, is the Stansted stream, I think it's called. Seems to run next door, probably just all part of the overall water engineering that goes on to keep the canal at the right level and navigable as much as possible. Like that, like the flag. Quite a lot of fairly big boats along here. I don't know if all of them are being lived in. Some of them certainly appear to be, and I can certainly smell breakfast or lunch being cooked. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning actually at the moment, so it'll be an early lunch. Very, very noisy. Noise. I'm sure it's been picked up on the camera. Noise from that M25. I'm glad I'm going to be walking underneath it and not driving around it. It's a pretty horrendous motorway to be on at the best of times. The weather today has certainly got that feel of a storm moving on in. It's quite blustery. Nothing like as blustery it's going to be from this evening, but it certainly has that feel of unsettled air moving in across the country. And rain. It's just started to rain now actually, but not particularly heavily. If you've seen part 6, you'll remember that was a very, very rainy day that actually by the end of the walk had turned into quite a nice warm sunny day. Strange really, but that's English weather in autumn for you. Maybe it will be the same today. I don't think it's going to rain quite so much, certainly earlier part of today anyway. There we go, right underneath the M25. A horrible motorway to drive around, and just wonder why you would want to moor your boat up here if there's unless there's no alternatives, because that must be ever so noisy. That motorway is never quiet, morning, noon and night. The sign on there says the Ramney Marsh Cruising Club. Quite a few boats moored up round here. We've just come out to another lock. I can't remember what the last one was now. It was a whole week ago. So it's Ramney Marsh, not Ramney. Need to sort my glasses out. Lock 12 and EN9 is the postcode. And it's a weak bridge apparently, and there's also, according to the sign there, a cafe and it's open. I've only just started for today, so I shan't be tempted into visiting any cafes just yet. Quite a lot of what appear to be permanent or semi-permanent residences or moorings here. Far too many to mention as I'm going along, but some of the boat names really do make me chuckle. I saw one back there that was quite amusing, but they're all quite amusing in their own way, or many of them are. And I suspect many have got some kind of backstory associated with them, and it's how that they decided upon a name for their boat when they acquired it. But just looking across now, I can't actually see any boat names, which is interesting. This is the area of the boat with no name. Another of those areas where the level of the canal needs to be kept right so it doesn't flood or run too low, and the water's just running over the sort of metal weir, if you like, there into a kind of a marshy area over the other side, which creates a great habitat for the birds. Lots of ducks and so on over there. Find those all along this canal or navigation, because of course essentially it's been fed by a river, so on occasions there's too much water, on other occasions there's not really quite enough, so you have to hold it in place for to remain navigable. and it's quite interesting to see how frequently you have those little areas. Normally there's an overflow bypass channel by the locks. See, so much water passes through the lock with the process of boats using it going up and down, but there's usually an excess of water which just needs to flow round. Nice smell of wood burning there. Somebody's inside that one. Doesn't really feel like you're inside the M25 at the moment either. It's almost quite rural if you look around. Can't really see over there too far, but looks like there's not a huge amount over there. One thing I will note actually, and it was the same on the previous part to this, part 6, the footpath here could probably do with being repaired a little bit, particularly for cyclists, because there's a heck of a lot of pooling and puddles. It's been quite rainy the last week or so, but yeah, cycling along here wouldn't be great. In fact, walking around it's not particularly great, and to kind of go around the edge of it all the time. Yeah, it's probably due for a bit of a repair, this, whoever's responsible for it. It's gone under Smeaton Road. Let's see, we are here, Smeaton Road, quite handy for the Rammy Marsh, which is just over here, the small River Lea, which again is an actual flowing river, whereas the navigation and the River Lea diversion is just purely for engineering purposes. There's a pub there, the Greyhound, so this is probably a good area to pitch up and start or finish your walk. Somewhere you can park along here by the looks of it, and somewhere where you can get some refreshments. So I'm guessing we've arrived actually in Enfield itself now, at Enfield Lock 13. South Ordnance Road, EN3, and yeah, what can I say, there's some modern flats over there, and a sign here, Enfield Greenways, Lee Valley Park, still Lee Valley Park. It is massive actually, it runs the full length from Hertfordshire all the way into pretty much the Olympic Park. So yeah, it's the what would you call it, the reclaimed land part next to the marshy bits next to the River Lea and Lea navigation, really, and fine job they made of it actually. There's plenty of it and lots of space to run around and take your dog for a walk and so on. So here you literally are dropping down from the level there in order to go underneath this bridge and drop down quite a way. I've also crossed over to the other side now, so I'm on the left hand side of the canal as we head on in towards central London, or the east end of London anyway. I won't be going into central London as such. Hoping to be back at Tottenham in the next couple of hours and on a train and head home before this storm hits Britain. I know it's expected that the south coast and also Devon and Cornwall will be hit hardest. I live in the middle of the country and it's still going to be pretty windy and rainy in these parts too. And I dare say there's going to be problems with public transport and other infrastructure caused by this. So we'll just have to see. I don't want to be stranded in London tonight, so keeping the pace on. There's about 6 more miles now to go to get to Tottenham Locks. And this is, I have to say, and I've said it before on the previous episode, so sorry for repeating myself, but walking by canal in a city really does give you a totally different perspective on that city, and it immediately slows you down to a different pace. Even if in some parts the scenery on each side isn't that wonderful, although so far along here it's not been too bad at all. Yeah, there's been a few factories and power stations and stuff like that, but on the whole it's a very pleasant environment to be walking in. If you come up here at the weekends, and certainly during the summertime, you'll see a lot more boat activity than you will see on this rather sort of dismal Wednesday morning. But you also get the peace and quiet when you come at these times, which certainly gets my vote. As the rain starts to fall a little bit heavier for the moment, that's Turkey Brook that's just appearing outside of the trees there, and the Enfield power station. So it's not all beautiful scenery by any means, and it's certainly not beautiful weather, unless of course, well, if you're wearing the right sort of clothes, it's not a problem, is it? And unfortunately today I have more or less got on adequate clothing, probably not enough for Storm Kieran. He won't be arriving for a little while yet. Hopefully this rain is just a temporary shower. It looks rather dark just overhead, but quite bright ahead, so maybe not too much. Rain just seems to be getting harder and harder now, but skies in the distance are quite bright, so fingers crossed. Just over there behind the hill, or I suppose it's like a dam really, is King George Reservoir and a number of other reservoirs. I'm just going to have to take shelter for a few minutes there because it's really throwing it down now. This wasn't on the forecast, it's got to be said. Light showers. Whoa. Right, well, what can I say? Absolutely soaked through now. I've got pretty good waterproof gear on, but I wasn't expecting it raining that hard. It's just gone back down to a light shower really now. But yeah, hopefully the winds and will carry on blowing to dry everything out, and a bit of sunshine would be nice as well, because that was very, very heavy. I suppose that is just a pre-warning of what's to come. The wind's getting up, but yeah, the storm's not supposed to actually hit until this evening. But I guess it was a bit of an early wave ahead of the main storm. So I think a nice hot chocolate's going to be in order when it's available. It's slightly unfortunate that really, because there was not really anywhere to shelter at all, and usually you can find something along a canal. It's a bit of a sort of a empty area around here. There's not much going on either side. I can just see over the top there some sort of factories and stuff, and of course there's the reservoirs to my left. So yeah, you're in that sort of hinterland before you get into London properly, I suppose you could say. And I don't know if those reservoirs are the type of reservoirs that you can go and sail a boat on or do things like that around, or they're just purely for reservoirs of water. Doesn't look like there's too much activity going on up there, but if it's a slightly nicer day, I'll probably take a little detour up the hill there just to see what's what. I don't think I will today, otherwise I might be pushing my luck that little bit too far. I could do without getting soaked like that again. This steady downpour is it's funny, isn't it? You start off, it's a little bit wet, drizzly maybe, short, sharp shower. You kind of dodge it a little bit, and then you get completely caught in deluge and get soaked. And it doesn't seem to matter after that. You're wet already, so yeah, I'm in that phase at the moment. I don't really want to dry off and then get drenched again. That's might just wait under this little bridge. First bit of shelter I've come to. Just wait for things just to settle down a little bit, I think. These guys are happy enough in their flooded field. Wow. And for those of you that know this area, just over there on my right, is Ponder's End. There's a railway station there. And yeah, so making good progress. Probably about halfway through this walk now, approximately, back to Tottenham. Although I suspect the second half's going to seem a bit longer with soggy clothes. Shame about all the litter that's ended up down there. There really is no excuse. Most of that doesn't just blow in the wind. Right. See some blue skies overhead, and the sun was out a few moments ago. Just goes to show what crazy weather we have here, especially when the air's quite stormy. I think there's a pub coming up fairly close to the side of the bank on the other side. I think it said the navigation in. Whether you can get across to it from this side is anybody's guess, but I suppose we'll see when we get there. Industrial stuff over that side. It's still raining as well, even though it's brightened up considerably from earlier on. It's the second Sienna I've seen today, I'm sure. Just in case any of you don't believe we do get sunshine here in November, there it is. And just as that's the A110 just ahead of me that we're going to be walking under, and to my left over the other side of the reservoir there is Chingford. Not sure what that is. Is that the navigation pub? It's a bit derelict if it is, or I can see actual, maybe not, maybe it's not derelict. Looks like it's lit up inside. And here we go, another lock. Otters, the sign of a healthy river. They're trying to tell me there's otters in here. Fantastic if there are. And it's Ponder's End Lock 14. As I say, Ponder's End is just over that away. There's a boat in here at the moment. And yeah, fairly hefty drop down again as we make our way down to more or less sea level at the River Thames. got then the Lee Valley Leisure Complex. It's down this way somewhere. And Brimsdown railway station's back behind me there, about a mile. Didn't actually see any signs for that back there, or indeed how you would get to it across the canal. But there probably was something. If you parked underneath this actual bridge here, or moored, I should try and use nautical terms. Shan't show the graffiti here because it's got a few rude words on it. I'll get banned by YouTube. Boats there up on dry land to be lifted out the water. Looks like a major access point for bringing in, if you were bringing some in by lorry or something to drop them into the water. I guess this would be a place you'll be able to do that. South Island Marina, I don't know if that's this area here. Now again, another bit of watery engineering. It just drains water off from the canal at this point. Keeping it at a steady level. DHL place there. What's the DHL stand for again? Drop it, hide it, lose it. Something like that, isn't it? Well, what can I say? This towpath, footpath, cycle track, whatever it is, alongside here, does need some repair. Yeah, I know it's been very, very rainy recently, and that isn't helping the situation, particularly today. But it's not quite impassable in parts, but it's not ideal if you're on a bike and want to avoid the deeper puddles to have to go close to the water's edge, because you're probably asking for trouble, and you wouldn't really want to end up in there. So yeah, I'd say that this path is pretty overdue now for some attention. Now the sun's out though, although it's quite breezy, it's really is nice. Still a bit of warmth coming from it, even though we're into November now. Come up to another lock now. Yeah, seems to be a boat in there as well. Nice little lockkeeper's cottage on this one. Private residence now, of course. This is Pickett's Lock, also known as Alfie's Lock, Lock 15. Nice straight bit of canal this, I suppose. There's nothing hugely exciting about it along this section. Maybe a bit too much litter lobbed into the hedges as well, which is not a good sign. And not so many boats moored up along here. Yeah, it's just a straight section really, with the canal still, the lake still over to the left. Lots of industrial activity going on over there on the right. And yeah, so ploughing on about 2.5 miles now from Tottenham and about 2 miles or so from where I'll end this walk at Tottenham Locks. So it's starting to rain again. Just began to dry out there actually. So right, going to plough on towards the end. I'll come back if I see anything of interest. But this part of the walk is okay. Path's still a bit uneven in places, but other than that, it's pretty good. So earlier on we went under the M25, which is the London orbital, circles the whole city, and it's not a fun motorway to be on. But this walking under now is the North Circular Road, which joins up with the South Circular Road, and was the original London orbital. If you wanted to get from one side of London to the other without going through the middle and all the busy traffic of the centre of London, not visiting London at all, you would tend to come in on one of the motorways, join the North or South Circular Road and circumnavigate the city that way. It's still a very, very busy and important road, but obviously the M25 has taken its place in many ways. And this is what you would call an inner orbital road now. And this is always busy too. And why are these guys moored up under here, other than for perhaps a bit of cover from the rain? I really do not understand. Oh, we're getting properly into London now. God knows who's dumped that there. Old fridge for the garbage. Probably some inside the canal as well, if truth be known. Such a shame, because actually it's really quite pleasant here, considering we're inside the North Circular Road, heading down towards Tottenham. What kind of people do this then? Just chuck all this sort of stuff straight from the canal path into the hedges. There's not really any road access just here either, so you can only assume that this is, especially large items such as the, I don't know, what's that, like a washing machine or something there. A small washing machine or spin dryer. It's just been chucked in off one of these boats. If you come up here, and there's an assortment of garbage down there as well, you wouldn't really be able to drive down here with that. It would have to be coming in off the boat. So, poor show. I thought the people of the canals weren't like that. Clearly I was wrong. It's a very big pity. And in fact, you know, the more you go along here, there's a little stream just down the bottom there, drainage ditch at least, that all this garbage is ending up in. Very disappointed by that actually. Back on an earlier episode of this walk, I noticed a load of stuff like that shoved by the in the hedge by the canal. But it was the canal path at that point was actually a kind of an unmade road, and it was clear that vehicles go down there and flight it. But here, not really. It's not a viable option, so there you go. Yeah, so the Stansted Mill stream is still running parallel. Didn't realise it was still there actually. It's dropped down a lot lower than the canal. So I suspect there'll be some more locks along shortly to bring it up to a similar, cunningly named the Green Bridge. And this leads over to Tottenham Marshes. So we're getting fairly close now to the end of this particular walk, which, apart from getting drenched twice and seeing some completely unnecessary littering and fly tipping, has been a nice walk. And it is a nice walk along the canal here. Just wish some people would behave with a little bit more decorum and get rid of their rubbish properly. But you know, we're heading into we're in a very, very large city. Not everyone's going to behave themselves, and of course not every city has great green spaces like this, so we can be thankful for that at least. I can see the apartments and so on of Tottenham ahead, so just plough on for this last mile or so into the Tottenham Locks area, and if I see any more I'll point it out along the way. Nice boats just here though, I have to say, and that sunshine's welcome as well. So there's a waterside cafe over there. I guess you can make it by ambling your way over the lock, or locks. Stonebridge Lock 16, this one. It's a double lock. Drops down quite a long distance here as well. Also have to cross over in any case, as the canal path is now over on the right hand side as we walk towards London. That's a shame, all that junk floating about in there. I better not dwell on it too long. So we've got a sign here, let's see what this says. I think I'm well within a mile now from, yeah, Tottenham Hale, 3/4 of a mile, yeah, that's about right. And in that case then, just over half a mile to the end of this walk today. South Mooring area, south of the Stonebridge Lock. Plenty of boats around here. Noting now you get to the south side of the Stonebridge Lock that the canal path is much better quality, nice tarmac, no puddles everywhere and mud, and much more conducive to cycling along, that's for sure. And a lot of people do cycle along here, considering it's Wednesday morning, Wednesday lunchtime on a not very nice day. I have seen quite a few people. I guess it'd be very busy up here, especially at the weekends or on summer's evenings and so on. Outside some rather swanky looking apartments here in the Tottenham area of London. Used to be a little bit of a shady area, let's say, here back in the day, but it's like many parts of London, it's on the up, becoming very desirable, lots of nice accommodation being built. Some will say it's lost its character, some will say good riddance to the old stuff, I suppose. But here we are at Tottenham Lock 17, still on the River Lea navigation, Ferry Lane N17, and that concludes in the sunshine. A rather soggy little walk there all the way from Waltham Cross. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please subscribe, please press like, and please press the yellow bell if you want to be notified of some more videos. This was number 7. Obviously there are 6 others that are already out, and there'll be a 9, an 8 and a 9 to take me all the way to the River Thames. So if you're interested in seeing those, then dependent on when you're watching this, they'll either already be out or they'll be out very soon indeed. So thanks for watching, Sorry to finish with a pile of garbage floating down there, but I guess this is a busy city and these things happen. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you all again in the next one. Cheers for now. Bye.